was soft, but it showed up in the fourth quarter, and it showed up in big moments in both the run and the pass. You're going to see a big run in the third quarter where they need it. This is 4th and 1. They're going to go down and around and give the toss to Cordero Patterson. They understood what was coming. You're going to have Jalen Ramsey attack from the outside. Troy Hill understand his leverage as well, and Terrell Lewis fight over the top. When Jalen Ramsey set this edge, this is a corner on a lineman, people. And now you get across the face, and there's nowhere for Cordero Patterson to go. You smash it right in the face, and that's physical football. Here you're going to see a great rush. You better double Aaron Donald, but that leaves Leonard Floyd coming off the edge. And when you double Donald, he splits it. He beats it. Floyd gets outside, but here's the play that's made. Outside, the linebacker bumps the running back, and when he does that, the tackle looks back inside. So as he's flushed, the linebacker sacks him. This is what the Rams did. The Rams understood how they would be attacked, and they were more physical than the Chicago Bears, just like their leader said they needed to be. This is one of the best teams in the NFC, and we have to start acknowledging it.
Those are so great because you get just such a sense, Ryan, of how little time Foles has, and it's happening at a million miles an hour given the way that Rams defense is playing. And you allude to where I wanted to go. You think they're one of the best teams in the NFC. They play in the best division by a lot. Everyone's got a plus differential. Everyone's over 500. Out that they played the NFC East as well. All right, we welcome in Louis Riddick and Brian Griese. And I'll have you guys know before we ask any serious questions that I would shred my hamstring if I tried to punt, but I could kick spirals like Ray Guy. I don't know about watermelon punts, but I can
see you try it, though.
All right. Next time I see you, we'll get a football. I got one on my desk. I'll take you on 17th Street, and I'll kick spirals right down the middle of D.C. streets. All right.
You at least have to have Johnny Hecker on the show, Van Pelt. I mean, come on.
If I don't, I'm going to ask Sean McVay about him, who's scheduled to join us. And as you guys leave L.A., Louis, I'll start with you. How will you view where the Rams fit into that loaded West and the overall of the NFC?
I think they fit in just fine, and I think they'll be there in the end. Why? Because they established their identity tonight, and Sean McVay made it a point to us that that's what he wanted to do. He hated how this team played last week against the San Francisco 49ers. The players hated how they played, so he said, there's one thing we're going to do. We're going to find out if we can run the football and really just man up and push people off the line of scrimmage. We're going to find out something about Chicago Bears, too, particularly on defense. I think some of those questions were answered tonight, and it's looking good for them moving on down the road.
I was interested to see with Sean McVay, how did they respond after a terrible game last week? And then how did they respond this season to what happened last season, going 9-7? And everybody's saying, hey, the shine is off the star of Sean McVay. Well, he came out today, he had a game plan, he knew exactly what he wanted to do, and they executed on it. And listen, they lost half of that team from the 2018 Super Bowl. They're not here anymore. There's no more Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib. They have found a new defensive coordinator, Brandon Staley, and they're playing well and together on the defensive side. That's why I think they're going to be there at the end in the NFC West.
Brian, I think that Chicago came in with some questions about the record. Look, I often joke that Detroit and Atlanta invent ways to lose, and they did against Chicago. So there were questions about how they'd stack up against this Rams defense. And the offensive limitations in this game for the Bears obviously has part to do with who they played against, but maybe part of it has to do with who they are. And I was interested in some of the comments you made on the telecast about Foles and play calls and the ability or inability to even try to get those off. How stifled is that offense, do you think?
You know, Scott, it's really disheartening as a quarterback when a play call comes in and you know maybe it's a 5 or a 7-step drop, and you know that once you get back to your 5th step or your 7th step, you don't even have time to take a hitch to get rid of the football. And yeah, you might want to push the ball down the field. You might want to throw a 20-yard out. But in Nick Foles' mind, he gets back to his 5th step and he takes the check down right away because he knows that they don't have the protection up front. Now, part of it is scheme, but a big part of it is personnel. They've had injuries on the offensive line, but we've seen other teams when they have injuries on the offensive line, like Dallas, right, or like Philadelphia, they struggle as well, and the Bears are having the same kind of problem.
Look, these are the kind of problems you can't really fix during the regular season. So we're going to be talking about them all year long because you can't make plays